Hi everyone, welcome to Blue Balloon Theatre's 8th spoken word and poetry open mic. This is our second on Zoom and I am hella excited about this one. We have got an incredible lineup for you tonight, and yeah, I don't want to speak too much really, because I just want to crack on and let everyone do their thing. So our first performer of the evening performed with us for the first time at our last open mic. So Rich, would you like to take to the, well, I was going to say take to the stage, but you can't. You're going to have to take to the screen.
No problem. Hello everyone, how are you doing? You all right? Nice to see you all. I bring you gibberish from the north. This is I specialise in poems of extreme gormlessness. I'd also like to explain that I've got this new laptop that has a fixed point camera, so it films me from underneath, so I always look like this. These are all from my book, Gormless, which came out last year, and I'm donating a percentage from every book to the ME Association. I've got ME, I wouldn't recommend it. So part of it's going to the charity. I'd like to start off, obviously lockdown's very stressful, so there's kind of a meditation that I found very helpful. It's called, that you feel free to use it. This is called the cycle of the cat. I live my life by the cycle of the cat. It's a simple philosophy, not a hard one. Just repeat these 3 steps. Have some biscuits, have a kip, then go for a poo in the garden. It's the same 3 steps for the cycle of the dog. Have some biscuits, have a kip, use the garden, not the bog. Thank you. Right, this next one, I don't know, I had to read Shakespeare at school, and so I tried to get a bit of the old Shakespearean actor type voice, and I've got Yorick with me here just to, yes, assist. I'll put him there. So this is called Stripy Elf. Tug not the beard of Stripy Elf, lest he become aggrieved. The guests in all their finery shall not be well received. The matador with roses clenched, his buttock cheeks betwixt, Fandango's to Aunt Maud and says, "All right, love, how you fixed?" They toot upon their pipes of clay, the smoke doth rise in wisps. Aunt Maud lifts up a bowl and screams, "Which turd ate all the crisps?" "My darling Maud," the matador exclaims, "have you forgot? You ate the crisps yourself to celebrate the yak you shot." "Well, I'll be buggered, yes," says Maud, "the yak who stole my car." And then they laugh, 6 laughs of laughter each. Ha ha, ha 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 ha. And just to show you, that's the picture that goes with that. Right. This next one, it's kind of a crime saga, this one, and it uses a word which is sometimes used as an insult, a derogatory insult to women. That is not the sense I'm using it in. Obviously, that's very unacceptable. The word is slag, and I want to use it in the original sense, which was, it means a criminal, male or female, and it was used in cop shows a lot in the 70s, like the Sweeney. If they went in and busted a criminal, they'd say, "Shut it, you slag." It means a criminal. So I'd like to introduce, to encourage all the female members of the audience to shout that, "Shut it, you slag." Do feel free, it comes in very useful. So this is called Interrogating Daisy, or When Cows Go Bad. "Mrs. Moo Cow, large and green, tell the coppers where you've been." "Pull the bank job, Dana Blake, come on, spill the beans, you slag." Moo Cow lights a fag and shudders. "I ain't talking, tug my udders." Banged up, but soon escapes with ease. Bribes the prison guards with cheese. She gallops through the prison gates to where her getaway car waits, driven by her twin sister Myrtle. Moo Cow jumps in and off they hurtle. Sirens scream, police give chase as Myrtle drives at breakneck pace. Moo Cow puts on a sly disguise, false mustache and ping-pong ball eyes. She knows now there's no turning back, this cow is on the lam. Traffic's at a standstill up ahead, but it's a roadblock, not a jam. That's why Moo Cow is in disguise, and so too is her sis. Myrtle sports a lovely bridal gown. What a rare beauty she is. Moo Cow puts on a top hat as they stop at the roadblock. The cops know which car they're looking for, but instead they stare in shock. They expected criminal heifers, armed and dangerous inside. But look, a handsome bridegroom, radiant new wife by his side. "Hello, officers," says Moo Cow. "We've tied a knot this afternoon. We're heading to the airport to fly off on honeymoon." Bewitched by Myrtle, buxom bride, the sergeant takes the bait. "Take care of your enchanted wife. Be on your way. Don't hesitate." And so Moo Cow escaped the law. She still remains at large, runs an exotic cheese smuggling ring. Ruthless and violent, she's in charge. Now from your lips you must make sure her story never passes. 'Cause if Moo Cows you blabbed, you'll find it's true that cows eat grasses. And if she gets her hooves on you, you will meet your demise. And just like Moo Cow's milk, you'll see your whole life flowing past your eyes. Thank you. Have I got time for one more quick one, or will that do? I don't want to go on too long.
Go for it. Do
Okay.
another.
Do you mind a slightly rude one?
We love a slightly rude one.
Okay. This is called 3 Meals with Roger. Don't stir the porridge with your penis. Don't use your dick to spread the jam. Don't poke your tadger in the sugar puffs. You've made an awful first impression on me, ma'am. Don't use your anus as an ashtray. Don't smear the ketchup in your crack. And don't poke a sausage up your sphincter, or these friends of ours may not invite us back. Do you have to dip your gonads in the goulash? Must you bathe your bollocks in the broth? Oh, and now you've got your testes in the teapot. Well, I hope you scald the buggers. You've gone too far this time. I'm off. Thank you.
That was brilliant, Rich. Jas has asked where we can find your book.
It's chinbeardbooks.com. I'll put the link in the chat. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you, Rich. That was wonderful. What a way to start. So next we have got the wonderful Ilaria. I can see you at the top of my screen with your tiara on.
Hello. Oh, that was so funny. You shouldn't put your gonads in the goulash. I agree. It's not wise. So I'm Ilaria, and this story is called The Burnley Guest House. Now, a lot of this is true, sadly. When someone holds a hot glue gun to your crotch and makes an unsavoury joke, it usually doesn't end well. The average person may think, how did this happen? Not to worry though, it's just my mum in the kitchen and we're making fairy costumes. We had been booked for the Burnley Literature Festival. We were going to be telling stories to local families. The brief asked for woodland fairies. My mum's immediate response was, do they know that I'm short, fat and nearly 60? She's Scottish. I was surprised that she'd said her real age. One year she went from 46 to 48 because she forgot about 47. And ever since her late 50s, she's been trying to reclaim 47. I attempted to explain to her that that wasn't how it worked, but she's Glaswegian and often holding a hot glue gun, so some things are better just left alone. We got on the train dressed as fairies, our outfits complete with flowers laced through our Doc Martens. The venue was a giant inflatable toadstool, and the more we stared at it, the more phallic it became. It only stayed inflated for the amount of time it took 2 kids to get in through the narrow zip-up door, which meant as the other people were squeezing in, it actually started to deflate on the kids. Screaming happened. People got annoyed, but we're fairies. Who could be angry at fairies? Turns out all of Burnley can. We had a brilliant day full of laughs, but we were shattered. Good job that I'd booked a lovely little guest house for my mum and I to stay in. I thought I'd treat her so we could have some proper time together. Now the guest house was only a few minutes walk away, so off we set on the short journey, still dressed as fairies. We got a few odd looks, but we didn't really care. All we wanted was a lie down and a cup of tea. We arrived at the guest house and I got a strange feeling in my tummy. It didn't look as cute as it did online. Had I made a mistake? It was 5:30, and when we knocked on the door, an emaciated woman with a strong northern accent, I'm not quite sure where, but northern, answered the door. She asked us how long we wanted the room for. Do you want it for 1 hour, 2 hours? I was a bit confused and I just looked at my mum. Oh, well, the whole night, please. The woman's eyes widened. We've booked a room. The name's Ilaria. Ah, okay, girls. Someone has just left your room. It was 5:30. She gestured for us to come in and she made us a coffee that worryingly tasted of salt and told us to wait on the stairs. I'll just go up and clean your room now. I'll just be a minute. My mum said, oh, take your time. A young girl who sounded like she had pleurisy told us how she was in charge of making sure the pillowcases were clean. And she asked us how me and my mum knew each other. When I told her, oh, we're mother and daughter, she said, oh, you could make a fortune tonight. I was confused and then the penny dropped. My mum clocked my expression and said, bloody hell, love, have you only just whipped it out? I'm good at accents, aren't I? You could book rooms by the hour. Surely this wasn't a knocking shop. This was no place for someone dressed as a fairy, and certainly not a fairy and her mum. We were put in a room that felt like the inside of an ashtray. We sipped on our salty coffees as parts of our souls shriveled up and died. Sod this, we thought. Let's go out for dinner. We walked around the streets nearby in the pouring rain, still in our fairy outfits. With rumbling tummies, all we could see were places with 1-star hygiene ratings. We also spotted a man that was so far past the point of being drunk that he was trying to cook a frozen pizza with a lighter. Now, that's not actually the first time I've seen that. Living up north can be very colourful. Now, the strange thing about Burnley on this particular evening was that everywhere seemed to close at 6 o'clock. It suddenly just turned into a ghost town, and the only place that we could buy any food from was from the newsagent. Now, the good thing about being a grown-up is, if you want crisps for your tea, you can have them. No one will stop you. But I'd rather it was a choice. So we went into the newsagent and I picked up a bag of Polish Wotsits. As a kid, a giant bag of crisps would have been my absolute dream. And I think I'd absolutely made it. But stood here with wet hair and still in my fairy wings, I thought, what a fool I was. Sometimes the things we want are not the things we need. What I need is to not be spending the night in a knocking shop with my mum and a bag of cheese balls. We headed back to the guest house. We heard terrible things. We smelt scary things. And we walked up the creaky, steep stairs to our ashtray room. Nothing works, nothing. The door handle doesn't work. The window doesn't work. The telly doesn't work. And there's a pair of worn knickers hung from the radiator and a pair of very old slippers with the words "sexy mofo" embroidered on the front of them at the end of my bed. These items did not belong to me, so they made me feel very uneasy that they were in the room so casually. This is something I hate. When I stay somewhere or move into a new house, I don't want there to be any trace of the previous occupant. I moved into a flat years ago and I found a miniature sand timer and some nail scissors in the kitchen drawer. Now, I knew instantly that the previous occupant liked to cut their toenails in a set time frame whilst cooking, and I shouldn't know that. Back in the knocking shop, there was a canvas on the wall with "Dance Like No One's Watching" printed on the front with a cat holding a balloon. The cat knows sod all, but somehow seemed to be laughing at us. You thought you'd stay in a cosy, quaint guest house with your mum. Enjoy your Polish cheese balls, you bitch. And everywhere I walked, it looked like this cat's eyes were following me, mocking me. Like one of those spooky Victorian paintings where the eyes follow you. The smug twat. Even the bathroom told a story. It smelt like a stale cigarette and Old Spice. And I was surprised to see that this was actually an air freshener, So that smell was a choice. We got into our pyjamas and decided that the best thing to do was just to put the lights out. The smell would still be there, but at least our eyes would be spared. I wriggled around to get comfy, but my mattress was covered in plastic. For easy wiping, I suppose. In a way, I was kind of relieved at the wipeability, but it did sound like I was sleeping on a giant crisp packet. I stopped wriggling. Silence. But then the builder started drilling downstairs. Me and my mum both laughed loudly. Oh, you'll have to put this in your wee book of stories, my wee toots. We giggled ourselves to sleep, and thankfully no one tried to pay us for sex. The end. Oh, that's a true story, that one. That all happened, yeah.
I'm shooketh that actually happened.
Honestly, in Burnley, it has got some reviews where people said they had a nice time, but some of them will have had a bloody lovely time, wouldn't they? But yeah, it's not a family place. Don't go with your mum.
Jas said, I'm not surprised.
Oh God. Oh yeah, it happened. Welcome to my life.
Thank you, Ilaria. That was so funny. That was
Thank you.
brilliant. So well written. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
You're so welcome. Well, thank you so far, guys, for being as receptive to everyone's writing as you have been. Your comments in the chat box are absolutely amazing. And your tags on social media have been amazing too. So if you're watching and you want to tag us, keep doing that, because that's been so lovely to see. But next up, we have got the wonderful Rabbia, who actually performed her poetry for the first time with us. So Rabbia, come on, girl.
Hi. Before I start, normally I write really depressing stuff, as you guys should know if you've had my stuff before. But I try to keep it a bit upbeat now, but we'll just see. You just need to give me feedback and tell me what you think about it. Okay, so the first poem is about body shaming. So I've always been body shamed for being skinny. I've always been a skinny girl. So I kind of wrote a poem about all the things that people have said to me. Okay, so it starts with, you're so skinny. Do you even eat? I mean, I know you eat, but is it just a salad? Because I know there's no meat. Especially not on you anyway. How does your man even stay? Isn't he afraid that you'll snap or you'll break if you see more calories on your plate? Because girl, I know you be starving yourself. Don't lie. How else can you be so thin? Like a paperback book, no good looks. Just admit you belong on the shelf of the bin. I mean, no one wants you for keeps. Probably a quick date because they know it will be cheap. A girl like you can't eat. Or should I say won't? You have some issues you just don't know. Anorexia, anemia, bulimia. Does anything pass your throat? You be throwing up because everything makes you choke. And this is getting a joke. To dismiss my feelings and be outspoken about my own weight, that shit just won't soak with me. You see, I might not weigh much, but when I walk in the room, you can't seem to breathe. And you claim you can blow me away. Big bad wolf. Am I made of wool or hay? Because you can be a sheep and carry on with this body shame, but at the end of the day, we're all made of clay. So go project your insecurities another way. And that's my first poem. Let me just find my second one. Oh my God, was I on mute the whole time?
No, sorry. You weren't.
All right. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, you're all good. We had a bit of a technical difficulty then. Sorry, Rabbia. Carry on.
Okay, so I'm on my second poem now. And this is about tea. So obviously every British person will have to drink tea. But if you guys didn't know, in the 17th century, tea was actually illegal. So they've only just made it legal after that. So this is my poem. I am the tea. 17th century escapee, once labelled a drug to help the ease. No, I'm not talking about weed. I'm on about tea leaves. Once considered to be dangerous, but best served hot. I'm not on about pot, I'm on about your teapot. We still think plants are drugs. But maybe tea being illegal was to help us. No caffeine in cups now full of unjust we once thought to trust, but now you're being discussed over a fucking Starbucks. Drinking tea makes you stay up at night, whereas spilling the tea is like dynamite. You might feel alive till it blows up and it's time to own up to what you now deny. But rumours are a sharp knife that didn't hurt any lives. Instead was used to stir lies you drank and got hypnotised. So when do you realise what you're drinking is social suicide? So when do you realise what you're drinking is social suicide? That's it. That's both my poems. Thank you everyone for listening.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing, Rabbia. Just wow. Jack has said, is there somewhere I can hear more of your work?
I actually haven't released my book, but my spoken word is like completely different to what I usually write. So what I usually write is very like depressing, as you should know, Rebecca. But this
Powerful.
but,
I would say powerful.
but like now I'm trying to just experiment and write a bit like more about other things.
Good on
But
you.
thank you everyone.
Really amazing stuff there, Rabbia. You should be really, really proud of that. That was really stunning. Amazing. Look at all these amazing comments. Oh, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. These are hella cute. Okay, we'll pass it on to the next person.
That's a good shout. I could sit here reading these comments all day. It's so lovely. Amazing. So next up, guys, we have got a brand new performer that we've never met until tonight, and I'm so excited to introduce Ellie to you all. So Ellie, if you want to unmute yourself.
Thanks so much, Becca. Thank you. It's great to be here, guys. Yeah, I'm really pleased to be with you all tonight, and it's so lovely seeing you all. So I'll start with this one is called Mardy Bum. I'll probably not read it all because it's quite long, but yeah. It's about the joy of the North. Can you guess where I'm from? Okay, so you're not from New York City, you're from Rotherham, but that's really not a problem. That's not so bad. Rotherham was probably the best night out I ever had. For us, cheesy chips and gravy is no passing fad. Hiya, and welcome to the part of the country where you natter to strangers on the bus as if they were your dad. Being northern means being friendly, being a right good mate. It's not surprising, really, that everyone wants to live like common people. We're first rate. Where nights out are dedicated to getting in a first rate state, but that's not without effort. We aren't bloody lightweights. A scrap that you'll instigate will escalate, but rarely devastate when it quickly ends in a handshake or a gruff, good one, mate. And the tension dissipates quicker than it came about. Plus, we dish out and give out just as much love. But you will get called a cop-out if you have another hooch, love. Don't be surprised if your friendly northern pal urinates in a questionable place while amid. This simply demonstrates and illustrates their dominance and place in the family of primates. Northerners love a pint more than I would dare to say. I mean, I could easily talk to you about my love of a bev for more than a day. And that's okay. Also, the price in the north probably explains why we get so carried away. Here's 3 tips to do things the northern way. Number 1, mopping up your gravy with a bread slice after finishing your Yorkshire pud is practically gourmet. Number 2, a ginnel or a gennel means an alleyway. Number 3, when I say, hey up, or nah then, I'm actually asking, how goes the day? Don't get me started on the debate that is bread. When you can call it something as cool as a bread cake, why would you call it anything else instead? Roll, bat, barm, cob, batch, those are all dead. We're strict about our bread, but we're stricter about our brews. Milk and one, builders and cuppa are the terms you've got to use. You're a mardy bum or a pillock if you don't thank the bus driver. And did I mention you can get 2 pints in spoons for under a fiver? The weather isn't cold, it's fresh, and we're tough in the rain and wind, not Nesh. We use swear words and flat caps to address problems close to our heart, and we delight in Pete McKee's various works of art. We'll put you at ease. We aren't afraid to get down on our knees. The Scrub. We say, it's high green, mate, via Hillsborough, please. We are the children born of these industrial towns. The metal and the steel fit together to make up our vast playgrounds. Marvel in the diverse noises and city sounds, the flickering lights and hustle and bustle of this busy place as you turn around and around in awe. Then you're travelling round a corner and the cityscape is no more. You're walking and walking. For northerners, a walk is like a kid finding themselves in a candy store. You're climbing over rolling hills of the Peak District and making your feet sore, but you ignore it, for there is so much incredible land to find. Discover the great outdoor. The north is somewhere you're sure to fall for and stand for and cause an uproar inside you. It's not just somewhere to make do, pass through. It's somewhere to pursue, aspire to, run to, and you do. Whether it's right good or right good, Liam Gallagher or Alex Turner, pull the Stone Roses. If you're northern, you'll be at the pub until it closes. Being too amazing is the problem Northern Heritage poses, and then you'll get all cocky and write a shitty spoken word piece that doesn't rhyme. Eating fish and chips by the beach is our favourite pastime. At meal times, or any time really, we drench everything in hendos freely. Yep, us northerners are right greedy. Greg's runs through my veins and I'm proud. I'm just all cooped up in my little northern cloud. You can hear our accent coming from miles around when we're in a crowd. Well, yeah, we're a bit loud, but we're northern and proud. We know what poverty looks like, but we also try to look out for each other, protect one another, treat others as though you're their father or mother. We are proud of our roots and we wear our sturdy Dr. Martin boots with pride too. In the north of England, we grew into what we are now, and somehow the north will stay within us for as long as we allow. I decided to read it all because why not?
I'm so glad that you did.
Thank you. Can I just read like another really short one? Cool. Awesome. Okay, this one's a bit more poemy and it's called Gathering. Milk teeth in an empty I'll start again. Milk teeth in an empty marmalade jar on the tabletop. Euphoric relief that they are still sleeping. Watch closely as their eyelids flutter gently. Seaweed gently swaying in an ocean bed. Another bed, this one just as unfamiliar, but strangely a sense of belonging. Consider for a second taking their hand. The soft sensation, memory of palm on palm, gathers you. Regain control. Gather your things and steal away. Halfway down the alien street you falter. Did you forget? Yes. You summon courage from the pit. March back to the pebble-dashed speckled home, coming face to face with sunshine. A milky tea stretched out towards you at the door. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ellie. That was amazing. Oh, God. We had some really lovely comments for you during both of those. Jas said, bread cake, are you mad? And that Blackpool fish and chips is the one. Charming. And, of course, welcome to the Blue Balloon family. Which is so true. Welcome, and thank you so much for that. That was really, really special. So, next up, we have got my partner in crime. It is Jasmine. Where are you, gal?
It is me already. What? Hello.
Go on, gal.
So I oh my gosh, put my teeth back in. I discovered haikus because of Louise and her writing workshops. And so I went mad one day and I wrote a haiku for every man that I dated. And unfortunately, I had to update one of these haikus today. So yeah, you'll be seeing something new today. So a haiku for every guy I've dated. The Milky Bar Kid. Dumped via phone on holiday. Real name is Michael. Toffee crisp. Bad teeth. Asked me out on MSN. Lasted for a day. Matthew was obsessed. Wrote his name on my planner. Had a meh six-pack. Nathan, pierced, tattooed, was a bassist in a band. Fancied the singer. Jordan was smitten. Cheated on me with my friend. He dumped me by text. Adam, first we were mates. He took my virginity. Stopped after one pump. Danny, a bad boy, fetched me on his motorbike. Bruised my vagina. Daniel, 5 whole years. Bought me Jaeger in the pub. Ended horrific. The fit Swedish guy, met on a night out in 5th. Cuddled me all night. Zoe P, Scouser, referred to me as sausage. Don't know his real name. Thomas, the vegan, met on my masters in maths. Still mates, not vegan. Ewan, Scottish, proud, Spitfire, saved as a dragon. Now he is my best mate. Stephen, a nice guy, covered his face in lipstick. He's still a nice guy. Henry, loves bonsai, loves how I pronounce Henry, from South Africa. Ollie, uni friend, watched Frozen and shagged all night. Makes his bread from scratch. Greg, ginger and short. He said he was 5'8". He was 5'4". Jonathan, creeper, went to see Pet Sematary. It was a shit film. Sam, a bad mistake, took advantage of me while drunk. I do not like him. Luke, ginger and posh, sent a picture of his thing. It shaved with a strip. Jack is a teacher. Asked me out on the 3rd date, and I said, no thanks. Taz, posh, privileged, extra in Made in Chelsea. Oh my god, totally are. James, total psycho. He still tries to message me, even though he's blocked. Kieran, Scottish bear, joked about marrying him. Only had one date. Michael, likes to climb. Went to see West Side Story. Better as mates. Probs. James, southern and dull. Parents bought him a whole house. I was not impressed. Kieran, high-pitched, weird. Sent a pic of his huge thing. Said I could stretch. Ouch. Rob, worked at Dawson's. Asked to break lockdown to shag. In a car. I said no. Reese, working class lad, had a 7-hour Zoom date. Why did we not meet? Lee, rides motorbikes. Best friends with my ex-boyfriend. Broke my heart. Dickhead. Josh, a musician, was terrified to kiss me. Ghosted me. Not cool. Sean, the gaslight king. I bought him a great cactus. I now own the cactus. Oh gosh, that's it. I actually think I date too much.
You now own the cactus. I think that was the best end. I was not expecting that, Jas.
No, it was a new addition today because I blocked and deleted Sean, so it's my freaking cactus.
Yeah, too right. It's your cactus.
Thank you. Bye.
Ryan said, please date more if it means more content. That was brilliant. You know what? I don't know what was funnier, you doing that with such charisma or watching Ilaria's responses. Anyway, thank you, Jas. That was just magic.
Thank you.
Amazing. Oh, gosh. We're halfway through, kids. Can you believe that? Oh, dear me. Right. Next up, we've got an absolutely hilarious storyteller. Steve, where are you at?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, marvellous. Well, there's no way I'm going to follow that, that's for sure. That was just fantastic. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a poem and I'm going to do a short story. And then I'm going to do a short piece, which if you're feeling charitable, you might vaguely describe as a song. So a bit of diversity. For the first few weeks of this year, I've been getting very nostalgic. I think it's quite a good coping mechanism, actually, to go back into a different time frame. And that led me to write this first piece, which takes me back to being a 12-year-old boy who hated school and lived for Saturday afternoon and going to watch the football. And this tries to describe the sights and sounds and smells and general excitement of a typical Saturday afternoon. And it's called Main Road Match Day 69. Yes, I am that old. A week at school wished away until at last it's Saturday, match day, Main Road match day. Solemn commitment to worried mum. I'll be okay, I'm meeting a school chum. Usually a lie. Sometimes true, most times I don't. Now and then I do. Bus to Piccadilly, the 219, passing by the Courtauld sign, straight to Lewis's department store, TV showroom, 4th floor, an array of tellies for sale or for rent. A small crowd gathers, all male, one intent, to watch football previews in colour, a proper treat. Then through the gardens to A-Town Street for the football special, a red route master, though some days you could walk it faster. Unshaven men with unwashed hands wait for custom at burger stands. Stained white overalls define their style, not seen Purcell for quite a while. Grubby nails on nicotine fingers, haven for germs to thrive and linger. Burgers stacked in a tepid lake, laced with fag ash, almost opaque. Not exactly items to savour, like soggy cardboard with slightly less flavour. Vegans hadn't been invented yet, but if they had, you can bet they could have dined here safely, apart from the obligatory tummy upset. Floodlight pylons, an arresting sight, frame moss-side drizzle in vibrant light. Fumble in pocket for half a crown, through creaking turnstiles put the money down. Programme cellar, refreshment stand, last few coppers clasped in hand. Flat-capped men clutch cups of Bovril. Repulsive odour fills the nostrils, not a drink for little boys. Kiora orange, that's my choice. Money less than wisely spent, real fruit content, 0%. No time to spend another penny, but so few facilities for so many. Cascading rivers of metabolized booze, fag ends hurtling along like canoes, shooting the rapids, though this water's not white. A stench unspeakable, that can't be right. Is this what it's like in a man's world? All set to ascend the stairway to heaven, to watch my heroes, 1 to 11. Hordes of eager trampling feet pound on steps of crumbling concrete. Disintegration into rubble can only mean impending trouble. Paint peels on rusting railings, glaring health and safety failings, never properly put to the test. Fingers crossed and hope for the best. Ibrox, 2 years on, 66 will die. There, but for the grace of God, go I. Out come the teams to do their worst. Opponents first, always opponents first. Bring on the champions, the Kipax boys roar. Even though we're not champions anymore, but we are still pretty damn good, even on a pitch awash with mud. No names on the back of those shirts of sky blue, but I don't even need numbers to tell who's who. Bell's athletic, imperious stride, Lee chest out, bursting with pride, Young floating with balletic grace, Book's hunched gait and unlikely pace. I gaze out in awe, mesmerised. precious images forever prized. Crowd disturbance, a sudden buzz, rival fans on the loose, here come the fuzz. For those around me, a huge distraction, but my eyes stay fixed on the action. People lean across for a better view, and I just think, what's wrong with you? Our games aren't on telly, well, hardly ever. So blink, and you'll have missed it forever. Giving morons the oxygen of attention, even then, well beyond my comprehension. The final whistle, don't see me for dust, sprinting away to run for the bus. At speed through dithering crowds I go, sit next to someone with a radio. Final scores and reports from familiar voices. If United have lost, the whole bus rejoices. At last Piccadilly, will the Pinks have arrived? Was that first goal offside? Will they say Franny dived? Read the pink on the bus, cover to cover, even the letters page. Why do these people bother? Relentless banality, always the same, from armchair experts, never go to a game. Walk home from the bus station, knock at the door, mum's there to greet me, she knows the score. Mood wholly dependent on how well we've done. Tea always tastes that much better if we've won. Then the Avengers, a match of the day, followed by Sunday, grisly Sunday, the looming grim spectre of school on Monday. But Wednesday evening, we're at home again. Another trip to Main Road's my week's only aim. Planting the seeds night after night. Please, Mum, it'll be all right. Some lads from school are going. Thank you. Right, this next one is I regret to admit is a true story. It's quite a short story, and it comes forward at least 30 years. So some of you might have been born then, which will be make a nice change from the first one. And this, in fact, takes us to the days when we used to party like it was 1999. Because it was 1999, and it takes place in the beautiful city of Edinburgh, and it's called Breakfasting American. Off to Edinburgh on business. There are worse places to visit and worse hotels to stay in. This one's really posh and so traditional that the doorman wears skirts. They call them something else in Scotland, but they're still skirts. Though it must be said, they do carry them off extremely well. The rooms are frighteningly expensive. I'd never use my own money to stay here, even if I could afford it. I'd happily stay somewhere half the price, or even a quarter. But this is the age of corporate excess. Money to burn. If I went somewhere cheaper, they'd think I was some sort of weirdo. Which of course I am. But they don't need to find that out, at least not yet. Let's wait until I get to the end of my probationary period before I give them cause to reappraise their approach to recruitment. The staff at the front desk are utterly charming, which is more than can be said for the man alongside me, who seems to think he's very important indeed. He's loud and brash and obnoxious and nasty and arrogant and unpleasant and rude and aggressive and American and full of complaints. His room's far too small. It's inadequately soundproofed. It doesn't have a view of the castle. The air conditioning's too noisy. Air conditioning in Scotland in January? Let me tell you, he says, back home we have much bigger beds than this. And the girl behind the desk smiles sweetly and thinks, well, why don't you just fucking well go back there then? While saying that she's very sorry and that she'll try to find him somewhere more befitting his status. Ideally, one of the skips round the back of the hotel, but more likely a slightly better room at the expense of one of the other guests, his boorish, bullying behaviour having paid dividends once again. I take the lift to the 4th floor and walk to my room, which is very nice, if a little on the small side, but I won't be complaining, because I'm English, that's not what we do. And anyway, I'll hardly be in there. 20 minutes is more than enough time to get ready for a night out. As I open my door to leave, a familiar face approaches. It's the American from the checkout desk, whose new room appears to be directly opposite mine. He looks at me and says nothing, and I say nothing, but I don't need to, because the look in my eye should be eloquent enough to convey my contempt in a manner which this ill-mannered, self-important sack of shite can understand. It's an enjoyable evening, dinner with colleagues and a few drinks, then a few more. And I return to my hotel in a splendidly advanced state of lubrication, but still sufficiently well coordinated to navigate the lift up to the correct floor, and also to find my way along the corridor to my room whilst making only marginal contact with the walls. A remarkably incident-free journey, which does make me wonder whether they've watered down the beer. As I fumble for my room key, I notice that the door opposite has got a request card hanging from its handle. My Sambuca-fueled curiosity gets the better of me, and I see that my American friend has ordered room service breakfast. Fresh fruit salad, low-fat yogurt, muesli with skimmed milk, freshly squeezed orange juice, wholemeal toast with low cholesterol spread, and decaffeinated coffee, to be delivered at 9:30 a.m. How very civilized, how very health conscious. A nice lie-in, followed by a slimline vegetarian breakfast full of goodness. What a lovely way to start the day. Imagine his surprise on being roused from his slumbers by a loud knock at the door at 6:15 a.m. and greeted by a man bearing a room service tray with a large selection of Danish pastries and a mug of hot chocolate topped with a mountain of whipped cream, and a hot plate overflowing with fried eggs, bacon, sausages, black pudding, baked beans, hash browns, and fried bread, with a side order of kippers. I can hardly get to sleep for sniggering at my childish antics, but it's worth it. Karma usually just happens, but sometimes you can make it happen. Thank you. Okay, this last one's very short. I've had a guest staying with me for the last couple of months, which I know is contrary to the lockdown rules, but the bastard just won't go away. And whatever happens, I can't get rid of him. Now, he likes to operate at high altitude, so I'm just going to have to adjust my screen a little bit to bring him out here. And he's going to do a little song for us. Here he is. Look, it's Donald. Now, this is the Ballad of Desperate Dog, with apologies to Frank Sidebottom. They call me shithead, they call me fuckwit, they call me bollock brain, they call me twat face. That's not my name. No, that's not my name. No, that's not my name. No, that's not my name. They call me racist, they call me sexist, they call me homophobe, they call me bigot, they call me bully, they call me tyrant, they call me rapist, they call me terrorist, they call me bellend, they call me narcissist, they call me shameful, enemy of democracy. That's not my name. No, that's not my name. No, that's not my name. No, that's not my name. They call you powerful. They call you mighty. They call you Pontus, Mr. President. That's not your name. No, that's not your name. No, that's not your name. No, that's not your name. Now, fuck off and don't come back. Thank you.
That was absolutely hilarious in the best possible way. Absolutely. Don't come back. I mean, not to you, Steve, obviously. That was absolutely, what a fantastic set. Thank you so much, Steve.
Thank you. Oops, oh, sorry, I'm not here, am I? Yeah, hello.
Oh, some brilliant comments there in the chat box as well. Definitely have a read over them. Oh, thank you so much, Steve. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Amazing. Well, in keeping with the music that we've got going on, our next artist is going to be doing some poetry and some music as well. So, Claire, where you at, gal?
Hello.
yourself. Hey, girl. Take it away, girl.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad. I honestly just don't know how I'm gonna follow that at the same time. That was so funny. Oh man. Anyway, so yeah, so I write songs and bits and bobs, and I play music on the ukulele under the name Little Strings, and this song's called Bump in the Road. So there we are. It's just another bump in the road, but it's fine, I'm fine. You're just another bump in the road, 'cause when there's something comforting and familiar about your face, I give in 'cause things appear to be in place. I give in 'cause things appear to be in place. How are you doing now? How are you doing now? I tried bits I lied, I just can't let you go. I tried bits I lied, I just can't let you go. But you were the moment to me, and now you're only a memory. You're just another page in my diary. You're just another page in my diary. 'Cause when there's something comforting and familiar about your face, I give in 'cause things appear to be in place. I give in 'cause things appear to be in place. Thank you, thank you. That was my song Bump in the Road, and that was an older one now. So this is a new one, and this is like the new version of it. So you're one of the first guys to hear it. So I would really love your feedback. It's called Bookmark, and I hope you enjoy. I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but you look like the best thing I'll ever read. So you can keep me if you want. Keep me like a bookmark in your heart. I won't worry about not having anything to read when I can read you. I seen it up as I've written in you before. I promise I'll be careful. I promise I'll be delicate as I turn your pages. I won't write my name inside, but I'll hold you like you're mine. I'll hold you, I'll hold you, I'll hold you, I'll hold you like you're mine. I'll hold you, yes, I'll hold you, I'll hold you like you're mine. turn your pages. I won't write my name inside, but I'll hold you like you're mine. Thank you so much. Okay, that one's really new and I'm really excited about it. So thank you so much for having me and let me play it to you guys and have it in front of people, and then I'll know what went wrong and what to make better from it. Oh, that's good English. Yes, so I have a poem, and I don't often read my poetry out loud, but this is one I wrote in lockdown 1, and ironically, I try very, very, very hard to stay away from things that are lockdown and coronavirus themed, but stick with me. Just the poem explains it. Bear with. Okay. It's called "This is not a poem about the coronavirus." This is not a poem about the coronavirus, so don't worry, you don't have to leave. Although, could you still stay 6 feet away from me, please? No, this is not a poem about the topic we all know. Well, we're thinking about it anyway, and I know a lot of us have been affected by it, creatively speaking. It's all we write about, and every piece of new writing and next year's Fringe Festival is going to be set in a lockdown, or about something contagious, or global pandemic, or cute and quirky little look at the everyday people and families and lives who were tragically affected. No, I'm not going to bore you with the same material. And more importantly than boring my audience, I said what I said, I'm going to show some respect to those who, unlike me, are really having to deal with it. Therefore, I declare that this is not a poem about the coronavirus. So don't panic. I will not delve into wordplay with the face masks we wear to protect ourselves physically as well as emotionally. Dedicating prose to the NHS and all of the key workers would be a very sweet idea, but that would be highlighting what I do not wish to highlight. Because this is not a poem about the topic we all know. It's not about lamenting over COVID-19 and pondering our new concept of time and normal. It's not about what ifs and if only we had different leaders and all of our mayors were Italian and our prime minister was that cool lady from New Zealand. No, this poem, unfortunately, like me, is going nowhere right now because we're all stuck in isolated lockdown and everything's sad, and I've got all the time in the world and I'm spending it trying not to think and not to worry about the thing I keep telling you I'm not going to talk about. So I guess the person who is creatively stifled is me. The person who is thinking about it anyway, yet somehow not yet bored. The one who does wish that we had better leaders and that people would admit they wore masks more often than you can see them. I'm the one who is fearful of talking about it in an art form because I want to be respectful and not make art which is the wrong kind of painful. And I'm dreading all of the future work we're going to see that will be an insensitive exploit of what's currently going on. I just don't trust us enough to not get it wrong. So I'm not going to do anything of the sort for now. I'm still creating as well as still worrying. There are plenty of things to say, but I don't have to talk about COVID-19. Unless I'm confident in my delivery and confident in my message, which I'm clearly not right now. Because people are scared, they're hopeful, crying, dancing. This isn't taking sides. This is one person in the isolated space of an hour. And I understand that as an artist, I yield power. So this is not a poem about the coronavirus. But if it was, would what I say be respectful and loving enough? That's my thing. Thank you very much for having me. And everyone's really, really great tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Claire. That was just amazing. That poem, you should read your poems more. That was really fantastic. And I think everyone is in agreement that your music is fantastic too. We've got some amazing comments. Both songs were great, Rich says. Original sounding chord changes that worked very well with the vocal melodies. Absolutely, I second that 100%. Yes, Queen, fabulous, amazing. Well, I could go on and on, Claire. I really could, but I'm going to move on to the next performer now. We've had this performer with us before, and we are so happy to welcome her back to our screen this time. Linda, if you'd like to unmute yourself.
Yeah, have done, I think.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for having me back, Claire. That was amazing. Love your storytelling. So I've got 3 poems for you today, and the first one is how I got started, really, I suppose. Okay, I write poems because I love stories. I love the human condition, how we measure value in any situation, and each make a different decision. I love that we have the rest in we have the strongest desire to come together. At first, I wrote rhymes in cards, got bored with best wishes and kind regards, so I replaced it with something new. Expectations, a word to the wise, written in a line or 2. One, when someone left on maternity leave, I wrote a poem about the trials and joys of mum. I had experience of that one. My influences were Pam Ayres and Victoria Wood. I loved their observational humour, stories like no one else could, and I started to try the same. Entertained a few friends and family when they came. Not feeling confident with the craft, a bit daft and shy at first, I was sensitive to judgment, quick with dismissive comment, saw much need for improvement, of course. So I bought a book. I bought this book, a scrapbook from TK Maxx, leather-bound, tissue-lined pages to collect a creative tax. On each page, I trapped a poem and decorated others with paper, embellishments and ribbon. Buttons, beads, coloured threads weave through the words I've written. Over 10 years, as my kids stood up, threw up, in an effort to grow up, I wrote about life's questions, a timeline of images and stories to represent life's trials and emotions. And I'll continue to try to get it right, try new avenues, slam poetry, the spoken word, open mic nights, not for fame or glory, but because I write poems and I like to tell a story. That's the first one. Hope you like that one. The second one, I wrote last week, actually. I've done this as part of, I've just finished a creative writing course, just for the hell of it, and I've really enjoyed it. So, and there was a poetry section in it. So I wrote this. This is called A Quick Coffee. She sits before me, roughly wrapped in the mauves and greys of the high street. The 3-dimensional expression, a vision, 31 years of training, mentoring, personal investment, my ultimate achievement. We're having lunch. Life is busy, so I double date with her phone. A constant musical reminder punctuates the room. Demands met, goals agreed, fingers fly across the keys, and she remains distracted with one eye on the screen. My phone sits wired to the house wall at home. My focus is her, this place and the chair I sit in. I accepted my allotted appointment, and I'm happy just to fit in. I've no distractions. My time is hers. While I sit, listen, and observe, she is spinning. She chats as we eat, texts and answers tweets, while I enjoy the sweet taste of the cake, far lighter than I could bake. An email. She pauses. She disagrees and turns away, excuses herself. I admire the leaf swirled into the froth of the milk and the rich roasted coffee smell. In detail, she shares the message content, missing the sweet scent of the cake and the taste of the cafe caramel. She sits before me, roughly wrapped in the mauves and greys of the high street, roughly wrapped in commitments she vowed to keep. and I have no distractions. My time is hers. I'm happy just to sit and listen and observe. Hope you like that one. Okay. And my last one is a kind of funny one. So I did my first book this year. That was my first lockdown project. Everything Changes in Your 50s. And I did a self-publishing job at Amazon. Again, just because I enjoyed it. And this is one of the poems out of there. And it's the idea of how cruel the changing rooms are. More so as you get older, let me tell you. And it's called Size 12. I took at least 7 things in the dressing room today, hopeful I might take 4 away, but no, not a chance. It starts when I walk past the window and glance, see something fabulous, think I'll give it a chance, only in the store my eyes find more, and then I've got to get multiple sizes, because what the makers don't realise is I'm actually a size 12. I queue for what seems like hours, sweating under the weight of the eco hangers, and finally go in. The cubicle's about 2 foot square and my knees hit the bench when I strip to my underwear, but I pick something. Trying not to look in the bloody mirror. That, my friends, is a serious error. I work out how to get in the dress, wriggle my way in with some success, but I just can't zip it. I swap it for the extra large. Shit. It fits okay, but the fabric's crap. You can see me Spanx and you don't want that. So I put it back and I try the jeans. Wide leg, elastic back. It's the thing of dreams for the over 50s. No, I look ridiculous. Stuck in the 80s trying to power dress. The mirror, of course, is not really helping, makes my body look a bit misshapen, and that's making me hot. I'll have one more go and I'll ditch the lot. The sweat's dripping as I eventually step into the blouse, but it's polyester. Nobody over 50 can wear polyester. I put my clothes on, leave the store, once again distraught and sure I'm too old for fashion, been left on the shelf. I get in the car. I'm a bloody 12. And that's my lot.
That was absolutely brilliant, Linda. Thank you so, so much. Carol says, elastic waists are life.
Now for everybody now, right?
Jas says, please can you put a link to your book in the chat box? I'm sure many of us will be checking that out.
Honestly, don't know how to do that.
No worries. If you want to send it to me afterwards, Linda, that's absolutely fine. And we'll share it that way.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Linda. That was amazing. And do read the comments in the chat box because they're just wonderful. Cool. Well, here we are at our last artist of the evening, and we've got a new creative this time, and I'm really, really glad to welcome Jack to the screen. Jack. Hey.
Thank you so much for having me. It's yeah, I didn't know what to expect, but it's been a really inspiring evening.
Good.
Yeah, and well done to everyone. Like, it's some amazing work. It's been joyous. Yeah. I just wanted to give a heads up, really, because my poem covers some difficult topics. So just in case you need a warning, it's a letter to my body. So there's some references to like self-harm and trauma and food issues. So it's comedy. It's not. Okay. We've been on a right old journey, you and me. We've gifted fistfuls of love and contempt. We've grieved, we've grown, we've given into temptation. We've tasted and smoked and sung, feeling vibrations of voice jiggle fat that hung and hangs. We've been there too. The string from a hoodie tied onto a ladder slid over a hatch. No turning back. But we fought the formless figures off and we survived. I remember rushing you changing into my cool after-school clothes because I couldn't bear to be alone with myself naked. Age 6. And I used to get dragged from the other kids' birthday parties because I spent too much time with the buffet. Sausage rolls and cake and quiche until quiche and cake and sausage rolls had no choice but to come back up. Then I progressed. The same routine, but less clean. First drink, then drugs, but always the same throwing up. I've hated you. I wanted you gone. I wanted to shrink and shrink until there was not 1 ounce of fat on this frame. What a shame. I could have been loving you all along, but that fear can fuck you up. Make you do things. Shoving fingers down throats, or... I remember cutting you in science, in a test, with a blade from my pencil sharpener. That was the start. Now I've diced you apart. You have scars, I'm not arsed, but sometimes when I take my clothes off, I see them and I love you less. I remember the grit, the surviving, the strategies we used to get by, and I can't be too angry. We're here. We've been on a right old journey, you and me. Remember that time that virus got inside us and we couldn't shake him out? Not officially a virus, but he terrorised us. They call it trauma, but for me it's the loss of the sensation of safety. Now we've numbed that with drugs and yoga, but he's still there, knocking around. Sometimes I bend down and I'm in that room, in that school, but cool. But soothe, it's cool. And I'll take social distancing any day. Now everyone is as scared as I am to touch. We all dodge each other in the street. Keep 2 meters, please. I don't have to worry about family and friends with friendly hands touching elbows and arms and wanting to hug when I couldn't give a fuck. If that feels nice for you, it makes me want to scream. What I'm saying is, we've been around the block, me and you. We've taken a few knocks, me and you. But we're climbing to the top, me and you. We're not going to stop, me and you. Just as we're getting higher, remember to breathe. Please. Because we need each other. Thank you. I was just going to share that, but I've been really inspired by other people getting creative, and I had my guitar next to me, so I thought I might just share a little song if that's okay. And I'll just adjust this slightly. Becca, could you just tell me, can you hear the guitar at all? Cool, thank you. I've been shitting myself for that, so thank you for giving me your time. This is, I've just started a new journey of starting to release my music. I've been writing music for, as a way of getting through life, through my teens and stuff. But yeah, this is a song I've recently written. It's called It's Glorious. Ooh, 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 ooh. Do you hear that? That voice within? Is it calling? Are you listening? It's quiet. I thought it would be loud. More of a question mark above a drifting cloud. When you know there's no rush. I know, 'cause I've seen it and it's glorious. I know it feels like disaster. All of the time. You have a choice, you're your creation, your design. Do you feel that? Open your eyes. It's safe now. You don't have to hide. Claim it. This body's yours. Wear it proud. Don't be ignored. When you know you know, there's no rush. I know, 'cause I've seen it and it's glorious. I know it feels like disaster. All of the time. You have a choice, you're your creation, your design. I choose life. I know it feels like disaster. All of the time. You have a choice, you're your creation, your design. I choose life. Thank you.
Jack, that was bloody brilliant.
Thank you.
Honest to God, the comments, you need to read the comments in the chat box.
Oh,
Just fantastic. Jas has asked, is there somewhere on any of your socials that everyone can listen to your music?
yeah, if you I've got a link tree. If basically a link in my bio on Instagram. So I'm Jack Hart artist with well, my name's, yeah, you can read my name. No E. And yeah, in my bio there's a link to Jack Hart artist. Sorry, Jas. And it's yeah, my first single came out in December, so the link to Spotify is there for that. And there's like a few videos and bits and bobs.
Cool. I've just put it in the chat for anyone that's unsure of how to spell it. That's how to spell it.
Oh, thank you.
That was amazing, Jack, and I can't thank you enough for sharing that and feeling like you were in a safe enough and more encouraging space to do that, because that means a lot to us as well. So thank you. That was magic.
No, again, just like thank you for having me. It's been I was really nervous, so I'm really glad that.
Well, you didn't come across as nervous. So. Oh wow! Thank you so much. This has been an absolutely amazing evening. I'm blown away by everyone completely. The music, the poetry, the storytelling, absolutely incredible. Jas says, "I'm not crying, you are." I was gonna leave it there, And now I'm really inspired to share something as well, but I think I am going to leave it there. Jas says do it. Okay.
I am now taking over host, and I'm going to introduce Becca, who's going to show something.
I've made you a co-host.
Oh. Emotional. Becca, do something.
Okay. I've enjoyed this evening so much, and everyone has given me a little bit of joy, a little bit of encouragement, and just inspiration. So that's why I wanted to share this. I've never actually read this one out loud, so here we go. It's called Infinitely. I feel for you so infinitely. So when I say I love you, my words will never summarize the capacity of love and feeling I have. Look deeply into my eyes and see the stars, the moon, and galaxies in their infinity. Feel the warm glow that radiates from me when I'm around you, and let it sink into your skin. Let this connection between our two worlds allow us to orbit one another, creating a singular entity, an energy, strong, blazing with light and beautiful. I don't know if soulmates exist, but these feelings persist, and my connection to you is so fierce and complete that I can't ignore how I want you, need you, and that feeling of being whole when I'm with you. It makes me a better version of myself. So when I cry, as we have a deep, meaningful conversation about how we feel, and we speak so honestly and freely about our raw and real feelings about each other, it's not because I'm sad. It's because my capacity for love has grown into something beyond my comprehension, and I'm learning where to store it and how I can show it to you in any way I can. Hold my hand and I'll hold yours. Kiss me and I'll kiss back. Tell me you love me and I'll look into your eyes with intent, so I can tell you without words how I feel for you so infinitely.
Thank you very much, Becca. That was brilliant.
Yeah, Jas, you can host the next one.
I'm too emotional. I can't.
Oh, oh, guys, thank you. That that only came because you inspired me so much. Just putting that out there. I wasn't planning on sharing anything today. Anyway, thank you so much from the bottom of all our hearts here at Blue Balloon Theatre for being a part of this evening, for creating a warm and encouraging environment, which is something that we always try to do. A lot of our performers perform for the first time with us, which is incredible. We are Carol, stop intervening. We are immensely proud of every single person that has performed tonight and has performed with us in the past. You're all incredible, and just thank you so much for this evening. I'm sure you'll all go and follow each other on social media now, but we've done loads of tagging and sharing on socials this evening as the event's been going on. We are at Blue Balloon MCR, so if you want to check us out on there and comment and all that jazz, you know where it's at. But until the next time, guys, see you later.